Hello, it's Linda here from Homely Lass, and I have Kylie with me today, and we're going to talk about how Kylie learned to crochet. So, welcome, Kylie.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about yourself to start with.
So I'm a teacher in New South Wales, a primary school teacher. And I'm the type of person that if I like what I see, I want to learn how it was made. And that has always been me. So I'm always playing. I had clay in my hands not long ago. I've got, you saw my desk right now. It's a mess, but it's just full of activities and projects. So,
And you've got some pretty coloured things behind you.
yeah,
Well, they're nice.
That's some vinyl. I've got some vinyl behind me, and I had some resin earrings that I've just finished making on the side there, and yeah. So there's always color in here and glitter. Way too much glitter on the floor, the carpet floor. Can I tell you? Don't dangerous, dangerous. I would never use glitter in my classroom, but in here, it's a free for all. So.
And does it gradually kind of work its way out of the room?
Well, I've noticed that even if I don't come in here, especially when my boyfriend's over, when he leaves, or I'll be at his house 2 days later, I'm like, why do you have glitter on your forehead? And there'll be like one little piece, just one. And he just looks at me and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, don't worry. It's got to have come from me. There's nowhere else in his world. He's a builder. There's no glitter in his world.
No, you are the source of
That's it. That's it. It's got to be me. So the poor guy covered in glitter.
He can't escape the glitter.
No.
Which is a good thing, I reckon.
Yeah. We're all about sparkle and shine, you know.
So, what inspired you to crochet? Or maybe for you, it was like, what did you see that you had to make?
Well, part of my nature of wanting to make is I've come from my mum and my grandmother. So I'm Maltese, my nonna were very big makers. My nonna was the type of person who would look at a picture and she could sew like that. So she made my mum's wedding dress by looking at 3 different pictures and made the wedding dress. And then 3 days before the wedding, she made the flower girl dress because my mum was like, oh, I want a flower girl now. So my grandmother had this beautiful gift and my mum could crochet. She was taught how to knit and crochet in school.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like school. So if she was in a subject she didn't like, the rule was just sit in the back of the room and knit or crochet.
Cool.
So yeah, that's it. So she's, she'll tell you, oh, I'm not that academic, but what she can do is incredible. So I've always grown up with my mom. There's always, usually she prefers crochet over knitting. So crochet was, and sorry, nail. So she prefers crochet over knitting, and she would always have like the hook and something going somewhere. And if I looked at something and I wanted it, she'd make it for me or she'd figure it out. She was the type of person that would look at something knitted or crocheted and she goes, oh, I could figure that out. Not big on patterns, but getting a bit but could follow them, but did her own thing.
Didn't need to follow a pattern.
That's it. So she was just really good. And so I even have, I've even seen show and tell.
Yeah, love show and tell.
Around my house that my mum's made. This was for my brother. No, my dad. It was just like the Parramatta Eels colors from when I was a kid. And so it's like, it's all, peely and whatnot, but it's always been used. And we've got stacks of these around the house. And he's currently making me a blanket that's just like
pretty
at a time. So, I'll just be the person, as I got older, I would just buy wool and I'd be like, I want this. And a few weeks later, it was just on my bed and I'm like, thank you. So I've always wanted to learn.
But never had to. You never had to.
I never had to, but I wanted to. And every time we'd sit together and do this, like I'd say, Mum, you've got to teach me. Within 10 minutes, one of us is about to gouge the other in the eye with the hook.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
She would just say to me, like, you just do this. And I just didn't get it. Even knitting, I had to teach myself with a book. But crochet, the book wasn't helping me. My mom, it was hard. It was the hardest thing in the world because every single time she went to teach me, couldn't do it. So one day I went to a jewelry making class and I learned how to do just basically cast on, the world's longest chain stitch. And I would do that with the thin wire, and I could add beads, and I can make like, I was trying to find everywhere the bracelet I made, but I think I've given it to someone because I can't find it. So I could chain stitch, and that was it until last year, where it was the day before Good Friday, and I was at my boyfriend's house, and his mum, she also is someone who can just, she used to buy blankets just to make her own version of it and figure out the pattern. So I'm at her house, and I was like, oh, I've always wanted to crochet, but you know, she goes, I can teach you. And I'm like, yeah, no, you can't, because I want to hurt people with crochet needles, hooks, like if I try, and you can't teach me. And so she brings me, and I said to her, right, maybe don't do it over Easter because we should be more reverent, you know, religious. So let's behave over Easter. And then maybe in the next 2 weeks while I'm on break, you can teach me. I thought, you know, that way I've been polite, but I don't get angry. It's all good. It's all good. And she brings me this ball of wool and a hook. And she just, her language was completely different. So, and I think, you know, apparently every time she's tried to teach her daughter, there's been a few. So I was like, oh, my mum could probably teach your daughter, no problem. But so
We'll swap.
That's it, just swap. So we're crocheting away, and she's like, I'm doing something. She's like, no, no, no. And she'll say something like, do a twirly thing. And I understood that straight away. So I like twirly thing. And in the end,
Twirly thing.
It took 45 minutes to make this tiny little square that I refused to get rid of.
Yeah.
But I did it. And then
that after so much frustration, and then just with the right words, it just clicked.
Yeah, I sent a photo to my mum, and I was like, look. She's like, I've been trying to teach you that forever. And I'm like, I don't know how it happens. So then that night she made me do, I think, 2 more squares.
Yeah.
And then slowly after that, I sat with my mom, and she tried to explain something to me, and I was like, no. Went to my best friend's mum, who explained the exact same thing my mum was trying to tell me. And she's like, no, this way. So I was like, okay. And now I can talk to my mum, and she can do it. Now that I have enough skill, she can now help me when I'm stuck. But it was genuinely a long journey.
I wonder if that's a common thing, that that it just, there's that, you know, parent child thing that just for some reason just doesn't click.
Yeah. And I think some of it too was like, she'd just be like, oh, here, give it to me, and she'll show me. So even now that I understand a bit, she'll go to show me, but she's naturally so fast.
Yeah.
Even when she slows down, she doesn't even understand the way her fingers move. I'm just like, that's just not. And then I get frustrated. And if there's anyone you can get frustrated with, it's your parents, because I have to love you back. So you're forgiven. So I'd just be like, nah. Whereas the whole time I was being taught any other way, it's a different type of patience. I think it's.
And you have to be more polite too.
Yes. And they have to be that little bit more patient too. You're not their child where they can go, no, and just let me show you. And so it was a long journey, but we got there.
But you got it, and good on you for persevering with it.
I bought books. Do you know how many books I have of cute little patterns? Never knew how to use them, but I had them. I was ready to go.
You've got the crochet library.
That's it. Yeah.
Know that you're going to learn.
That's it. It was going to happen. And if not, my mum would have gotten the books and the yarn, and she would have had to make me what I wanted. So.
And it's just craft books of all kinds. They're just beautiful to have.
It's to the point where I'll go in the bookshop and I'll go, who would want to learn how to do that? And then 3 weeks later, not only do I have the book, but I have all the materials needed to learn something new. And then I'm like, oh, I've got a problem.
Because you asked the question and then you answered it. Well, maybe I would.
Yeah, but I have found I have a limit. So yes. So like I play with resin, and then someone said something about like resin tumblers, and I went, no, that's my limit. That's just wasteful mess. In my head, I'm like, no. And there was another thing someone suggested, and I went, no, that's my limit.
You have a crafting style and a crafting limit. Yeah. It's just lots of crafts.
That's right. Yeah. Getting there slowly.
So much fun. So what are you making now?
Okay. So I got this idea of Pinterest. It's another crazy idea. I'm doing and I have it with me, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to show it. It's in a big bag. Um,
I
I'm making a basket out of rope and twine. So the rope is my, I guess, my stable base, and then the twine is what I'm crocheting. So it's meant to be a basket. At the moment, I don't know how baskety it looks. I'm trying to squish it into shape. But at the moment, all products, everything from Bunnings.
Oh, gotta love Bunnings as a craft supply store.
Right. So I think, the original idea was in my yarn go in this basket.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going to happen because I had it filled with something else before. It's still being worked on. So there's still rope and twine everywhere. And I've already started filling it. So then I have to empty it
to keep making it.
Yeah. But
you're using it before it's even finished.
Well, you're just going to make sure it's the right size, right? So
so you're crocheting.
So what I'm doing, I've got the rope and I just twine, like I move the rope around like you would an extra piece of yarn. And then I'm just doing a basic crochet just around it. And I'm with twine. So I have cotton twine.
Yeah.
And I'm just crocheting away slowly. So I'm trying to see if there's a good, I'll try and stick it up so you can kind of see on the edge. All I'm doing, very basic.
So pretty.
And it's just all the way around. So I've just grabbed some cheap, I'm pretty sure, I feel like I would have bought all this when we went into lockdown. And we did nothing like you guys. We had maybe, as a school teacher, I worked from home for 5 weeks and that was it.
That was long enough.
That was it. It really was. So what, if you count the 2 weeks of the school holidays in the middle of that, 7 weeks, but we still could go out. We didn't have the complete shops closed and everything, few clothing shops and all that. But Bunnings, I remember ordering from Bunnings and doing a quick pickup because I was so worried I'd get bored and didn't have time to get bored because, we didn't do the big, I was prepared for the ready, like I was ready to bunker down, good. You
had like a year's worth of craft projects, whatever you felt like in any given day.
You picked the mood and I was ready to go. That's how ready I was.
No.
And it just never happened because I worked throughout the entire thing. And the 2 weeks holidays we had, it was preparing for going back to work. So it didn't happen. But it's been great to use this because it's light. It's not a heavy thing. It's not a hot thing to hold.
Yeah.
Manipulate it. I don't have to concentrate with this. So I'm watching TV and I'm working on it. It sits in this bag. So for a long time it sat in my car. And I'd use it, I'd like work on it at my boyfriend's house and then take it home every day. Sat at his house for a while too. So it's a long work in progress, but I'm very proud of it. And so there's a part of me that also doesn't want to finish it because then it means
it's over.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point that you raised there when you're really enjoying making something.
I'm not ready to say goodbye. And I have the stuff to make another one, but it won't be this one. And I'm quite attached to this one. So
yeah. Well, if you're using it while you're making it, you actually don't have to finish. Well,
I can put all my squares in there and I'll find other things. I just ordered, after the conversation you and I had through email, I decided to order the texture kit, the different fibers. Yep, the fiber kit. So, all those balls can go in there and I'm ready to go.
I think you're going to love it. And I've actually got it packed up, ready to go to the post office once we finish talking.
Awesome. I was like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I can't miss out. So yeah, I want the fiber kit. So
I'm so excited that it's going to be in your craft room, the kit. And I think you're going to love all the different fibers and squares and
just fun to play and to figure out. I think because what I'm used to working with too is it's the stuff from Spotlight. It's not the really good quality. I mean, not that Spotlight's terrible, but there is some stuff that you buy that you're like, oh, hey, that one.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to play with that. That there's more care and love in these products.
And how different is like the silk gonna feel to the rope?
Yeah, well, yes, that's another thing. I'm gonna have to. I feel like it'll be more delicate, whereas You know, I was crocheting away with this last time, we're watching something, and on the other end of the rope, the very end of the green rope, there's my boyfriend playing, like, just tying knots, just having fun with the. So we were both just playing around with this piece of rope, and then after a while, I had to keep tugging it out of his hands because I'm like, no, I need it now. It's like,
I need my rope, please.
that's it. Stop playing now. It's serious time, and then I'd be like distracted and leave the basket again. So.
So
Yeah.
you could give someone that was either thinking about learning to crochet or just starting, if you were to give them one piece of advice,
Yeah.
what would it be?
Don't give up just because the instructions you're getting are not suiting you, because there will be someone out there. It's like finding love. There'll be someone who can understand your language, and they will just say something and it will click.
And that's really just good life advice, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. Don't settle. Like,
keep trying.
Find
what you believe in.
That's it. It's exactly the same thing. So no, but it's true.
It's very true.
Because I was determined. I really was, but I couldn't figure it out on my own. It doesn't matter. YouTube wasn't working. I could not figure it out on my own.
You just needed to find what worked for you.
Yeah.
And that determination and grit is just so good. So good.
Sometimes it's good. Not always, but I think in this case it worked well.
Definitely. And before we go, what other craft things are you doing at present? What crochet crafting are you doing?
Oh, I love it. So I do a lot of resin. So I've just started my own little side hustle, and I've been making some resin earrings. So I'm wearing a pair. My students every day are trying to figure out if what I'm wearing is either bought or made by me. So it's constantly a buy or make, and they're getting better at picking it. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So sometimes they'll see me playing with something, and a few days later they'll go, oh, you know, you were scribbling, or you did something and now you're wearing something. So they're crafty little things. So it's a little game we play in my classroom. So I've been doing that, and a lot of things with vinyl. So at the moment, you know, Easter's around the corner, little Easter buckets, cake toppers. What if I did? Oh, well, we have tomorrow, someone in our family is turning 40. And so I'm making the big message jar that we're all going to put messages in for her. So, but she doesn't know that any of this is happening. So it'll be really exciting when she sees it, and a little keepsake for the night. So just fun. I see, and my biggest problem is I should not be allowed on Pinterest, because
the rabbit hole that Pinterest is.
That's it. I see it and I'm like, what do I want to make next? And I like to learn. So the only reason I started, I think, selling things is to make more money to buy more things.
Why not?
Can't save this money. This money goes straight back into crafty businesses.
Hours of enjoyment.
100%. But it's so good for mental health, and that's been the best thing for me. So
Yep.
Definitely.
Now, do you sell your earrings?
Yeah.
Where if someone wants to buy them because they've seen them on you, where do they find them?
So I have a website and a Facebook page called Kikkra Creations. So Kikkra is Kikkra Creations. So Kikkra means teacup in Maltese. So like little homage to me and to my heritage. And I also just like how the word sounds. So I just chose it and went with it. And I have a little website, Facebook page. I think I'm on Instagram as well. And usually it's just orders through there, and whatever I can tailor make. I like a challenge. So sometimes I'll get we want this. I'm like, oh, figure it out. And off I go. So
nice. Creative.
Yes. The best bit is you make it and you don't have to find where to store it. So this is why I love doing it.
Yeah.
So anyone wants anything, I'm happy to learn to do it, because then I'm like, all yours. And I don't have a lot of room. So this is my problem.
That works well.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it has been absolutely wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
A little bit into your creative world.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how you go with your fiber exploration blanket.
Oh, yes. Well, you will hear all about it, I'm sure. There'll be questions coming your way.
Fabulous. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.